In a galaxy far, far away, long before the rise of the Empire, a different kind of Star Wars story was being told. A story of Jedi Knights, Sith Lords, and a galaxy teetering on the brink of war. This is the story of Knights of the Old Republic, a video game series that dared to explore the Star Wars universe in new and exciting ways, but ultimately fell victim to the pressures of the industry. Released in 2003, Knights of the Old Republic, or KOTOR, was a revelation. Developed by BioWare, the legendary studio behind Baldur's Gate, KOTOR seamlessly blended classic Star Wars elements with deep RPG mechanics. Players took on the role of Jedi Knight, embarking on a journey of self-discovery across a vast galaxy filled with intriguing characters, challenging moral choices, and lightsaber duels that felt both cinematic and impactful. KOTOR captivated players with its compelling story. You could choose to embrace the light side of the Force, becoming a noble Jedi Guardian, or succumb to the dark side, becoming a fearsome Sith Lord. The game's branching narrative and multiple endings add immense replayability, encouraging players to explore different paths and experience the story in unique ways. The game's world was richly detailed, filled with iconic locations like the bustling spaceport of Terrace, the Sith world of Korriban, and the sincere Jedi enclave on Dantooine. These vibrant environments, coupled with memorable cast of characters, from the sadic Mandalorian Candrass Ordo to the sarcastic assassin droid HK-47, created an immersive and unforgettable experience. Perhaps most importantly, KOTOR introduced players to Revan, a legendary figure in Star Wars lore. Revan, a Jedi turned Sith Lord, became an iconic character, captivating fans with his complex motivations and tragic backstory. Even today, 2 decades after the game's release, Revan remains a fan-favorite character, appearing in countless fan creations and continuing to inspire new generations of Star Wars enthusiasts. Revan's influence extends beyond the games, becoming a significant figure in Star Wars legends, appearing in books, comics, and other media. Released in 2004, KOTOR 2 continued the story, focusing on the aftermath of the events of the first game. However, development was plagued by numerous challenges. BioWare faced immense pressure to deliver a sequel that would meet the high expectations set by the original. This pressure, coupled with a rushed development cycle and a limited budget, ultimately led to a compromised and ultimately unfinished product. KOTOR 2, while still a critically acclaimed game, suffered from numerous technical issues, incomplete storylines, and even missing content. The game felt rushed and unfinished, leaving fans feeling disappointed and disillusioned. The series that had once shown such immense promise seemed to have fallen victim to the pressures of the industry. Instead of continuing the single-player experience, LucasArts, the publisher at the time, opted for a different direction. They greenlit Star Wars The Old Republic, a massively multiplayer online game, better known as an MMO, set in the same era as the KOTOR games. The Old Republic, while a successful MMO, ultimately strayed from the core of the original games, and focused more on subscription fees and competitive gameplay than on the deep single-player narrative that had defined KOTOR. The single-player campaigns, while enjoyable, lacked the depth and emotional resonance of their predecessors, leaving many fans yearning for a true return of the single-player experience. Despite the challenges and the shift towards MMO territory, the legacy of Knights of the Old Republic continued to resonate with fans. The demand for a true KOTOR 3 remained strong. So, if a new studio were to take on the mantle and finally deliver a true sequel, what could it be about? The Rise of Darth Bane. This storyline would dive into the origins of Darth Bane and the Rule of Two, drawing inspiration from the Darth Bane novels. Players would embody a Sith apprentice during Bane's rise to power, witnessing the events that led to the decimation of the Sith Order and the establishment of the Rule of Two. Players would experience an internal conflict within the Sith Order, witnessing the infighting and power struggles, then the ultimate chaos that plagued the Sith. They would witness Bane's cunning rise to power, his ruthless elimination of his rivals, and his eventual confrontation with the remaining Sith Lords. This would provide a unique perspective on a pivotal moment in Sith history, allowing players to experience firsthand the events that shaped the Sith Order for millennia to come. Players would witness the birth of a new Sith philosophy, one of discipline and absolute mastery, as Darth Bane forged a new path for the Sith and ensured their survival for centuries to come. The Revan Chronicles. This storyline would offer a unique and dynamic gameplay experience by featuring two playable protagonists, the Exile, Mitra Surik, and Revan himself. Players would seamlessly switch between controlling these iconic characters, much like the dynamic gameplay seen in Marvel's Spider-Man 2, allowing for a deeper and more intimate exploration of their individual journeys and the complex events that shaped the Old Republic. This game would begin during the height of the Mandalorian Wars, with players alternating between controlling Revan, a young, ambitious Jedi Knight, and Mitra Surik, a promising Padawan eager to prove themselves. Players would experience key battles from both perspectives, witnessing the war's devastating impact on the galaxy, and witnessing Revan's rise to power, culminating in his eventual victory over Mandalore. Now, fast-forwarding to the events of the Revan novel, the game would shift its focus to the aftermath of the Jedi Civil War. Revan, now a Jedi Knight and married to Bastila Shan, begins to experience disturbing nightmares about his past as a Sith Lord. Haunted by these visions, he embarks on a personal quest to uncover the truth about his fall to the dark side. Meanwhile, Mitra Surik, having sensed Revan's distress and perhaps even experiencing premonitions of her own, joins him on this quest. Together, they confront their past, confront the lingering effects of the Mandalorian Wars, potentially leading to a climactic confrontation that will shape the destiny of the galaxy. This approach would allow for a deeper exploration of Revan's character, delving into the psychological and emotional impacts of his past actions. It would also provide an opportunity to revisit iconic locations and characters from the original games, offering a sense of nostalgia and a deeper connection to the established KOTOR universe. The Shadow of Revan. This storyline would introduce a new protagonist who becomes embroiled in a conspiracy involving Revan's lost legacy. Players would investigate ancient Sith artifacts, uncover hidden truths about Revan's past, and confront the lingering consequences of his actions. This could involve facing off against remnants of Revan's Sith Empire or encountering new threats inspired by his legacy. Now, these are just a few possibilities. The key to capture the spirit of the original games, the compelling stories, the impactful choices, and the exploration of the gray areas of the Force. A true KOTOR 3 would need to respect the legacy of its predecessors while forging its own path, delivering a single-player experience that would once again captivate players and remind them of the magic of the Star Wars universe. The fate of the Knights of the Old Republic series remains uncertain, but one thing is clear. The legacy of these games continue to inspire fans and serve as a reminder of the incredible potential of video games to tell compelling and unforgettable stories. Let me know what you think in the comments. What are your hopes for the future of the KOTOR series? What stories would you like to see explored in a potential sequel? Be sure to like and subscribe to see more episodes of Pixel and Plot.